How is she doing?
Her management saying she suffered a skull fracture in the fall.
I'm really, just recovering from hitting the back of my head really hard because I just went like timber.
Comedian Bob Saget's final moments. An autopsy revealed the 65-year-old had died of trauma to the back of his head.
I don't mean to brag, I don't care, but I want you to know, double vaxxed, booster, flu shot, and I'm going to be honest, I have the shingle shot too. And I still get my period. What? Yes! Traveled, went to Mexico twice, did shows, meet and greets, never got COVID. Clearly, Jesus loves me the most. Seriously. So nice. So nice.
This is real, y'all. This is not part of her act. She would just talk about her health. And this is real. Fell out. It's not part of the act.
St. Clair County Emergency Management Agency Director Herb Simmons is getting creative to try and get more people to get their COVID-19 vaccine.
Hi, this is Gilbert Gottfried with an important message. St. Clair County is running a COVID-19 mass vaccination site at the Belle Claire Fairgrounds.
From magical matrimony to sickness and health, pop superstar Justin Bieber by his wife Hailey's side after she was rushed to the hospital. The wife and model posting on her Instagram, "I was sitting at breakfast with my husband when I started having stroke-like symptoms."
It sounds like if she was diagnosed with a clot in the brain, that sounds like they made the diagnosis of stroke.
At 25 years old, that's rare.
The majority of patients are 70, 80 years old.
Neurosurgeon and professor with USC, Dr. Matthew Tenser says only about 10% of stroke patients are somebody less than 50. They're caused by blood clots traveling to the brain, then cutting off oxygen. Without seeing Hailey's medical records, Tenser can't know for sure, but says it looks like she did everything right.
It sounds like as soon as the symptoms started, they called 911 and she was evaluated in the hospital right away, which is exactly the right thing to do.
Signs are sudden onset symptoms of numbness or vision loss on one side of the body, inability to speak, dizziness, and a massive stroke could be devastating.
Stroke is the number one cause of disability in the U.S. At this time. It's the number 5 cause of death.
Hailey says it's one of the scariest moments of her life. The CDC says about 800,000 Americans have a stroke every year, but extremely unusual for someone Hailey's age.
Come out to the coast, we get together, have a few laughs.
As one of Hollywood's top action heroes, Bruce Willis never backed down on the big screen. Now the star is facing a real-life challenge. His family says Willis will be stepping away from his acting career after he developed the brain disorder aphasia. While it's not known when the actor was diagnosed, crew members from recent productions tell the LA Times he showed signs of cognitive decline. Several sources told the LA Times Willis struggled with his memory and was fed lines through an earpiece or so-called earwig on sets. Device Burns told us Willis used to assist with dialogue on a film they shot in October.
We have the latest on Celine Dion. The singer's sister speaking about the health issues keeping the superstar from returning to the stage and how long she may be out. Deborah Roberts is here with that. Good morning, Deborah.
Good morning, Michael. So many have been reaching out with love and concern for the Grammy-winning singer since her announcement of health problems.
As superstar Celine Dion copes with that health issue that's forced her off stage for now, her sister shedding new light on the singer's battle against debilitating muscle spasms. Just days ago, the chart-topping singer announcing she was postponing her highly anticipated return to the Vegas Strip, but she could no longer make it through rehearsals.
And tonight we begin with breaking news. The drummer for the hit rock band Foo Fighters, Taylor Hawkins, has died. The band posted this statement on Twitter about an hour ago, calling it an untimely loss. So far, no details have been released about what happened. Hawkins has been with the band for 25 years. Taylor Hawkins was 50 years old.
up with Taylor back in 2014 when he formed a heavy metal side project called Birds of Satan.
Being a musician and having the comfort of the Foo Fighters, is it easier to pursue these projects?
You've been very particular about requiring vaccinations of everybody on staff in the band, playing places where they require vaccinations. So I've been obsessed with like Van Morrison and Eric Clapton and what the heck is going on with those guys. Do you want to reach out to them and just put your hands around Eric Clapton's blues-tested neck and say, hey, brother, we got to get this together. What are you doing here?
I think different bands have different policies and they do it different ways. And we just kind of do it the way that we do it, the way that we hope keeps everyone safe.
Foo Fighters, you gotta get me a record.
It's our 10th album. We gotta break the mold on this one. Let's go somewhere we've never been.
This place is amazing.
Do you guys get this overwhelming sense of death? It doesn't really seem like the right fit. Whoa, it's rad. The sound of this house is the sound of album 10.
Studio 666 is a 2022 American horror film based on a story from Dave Grohl. Grohl stars alongside his Foo Fighter bandmates, including Taylor Hawkins, who is now deceased. In this film, Grohl is depicted as the bandleader who is first infected by the demonic black goo graphene ferrofluid substance.
The plot point conveyed in the scene, by his eyes turning completely black, is him becoming a vessel infused with legions of unclean spirits, which then methodically murder and lead his bandmates to an untimely demise.
Let's finish the track. Can we just wait, dude?
The trailer shows a scene where a possessed Grohl aggressively demands Taylor Hawkins to just play the drums. This becomes a strange coincidence when you consider that in the real world, Grohl mandated his band and fans to undergo an experimental treatment which has a myriad of unforeseen consequences.
At the end of the trailer, they make a point to show Dave Grohl sacrificing Taylor Hawkins. Strange behavior.
What do we do? We go save Zeth.
Is the album almost done?
Yeah, it's killer.
Here you go, man. Finish the song.
You did.
You've been very particular about requiring vaccinations of everybody on staff in the band, playing places where they require vaccinations.
Whether we admit it or not, there is something unprecedented taking place right before our eyes.
So anecdotal evidence, I have a lot of interaction with the cardiology community across the UK, and anecdotally I've been getting told by colleagues that they are seeing younger and younger people coming in with heart attacks. Now, what does this mean in terms of the data? We have to put the jigsaw for the pieces together. We know since July there's been almost 10,000 excess non-COVID deaths. And most of those, or significant proportion of those, have been driven by circulatory disease, in other words, heart attack and stroke. There's been a 30% increase in people dying at home. And often these are because of cardiac arrest. Of course, this is also something close to my heart because my own father is one of those statistics. He had a cardiac arrest at home July the 26th, so when since this data has been collected. So where do we go from here? I think the signal is quite strong. I personally think that this needs investigating.
Everyone who is spiritually in tune and paying attention can see the uptick in crime, murder, suicide, hatred, senseless violence, and war.
Mental illness and all manner of incoherent, irrational evil is on the rise.
Woman accused of setting 2 churches on fire Friday night faced a judge today. Tonight, we're learning she's no stranger to local law enforcement. Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Courtney Zeller is joining us live right now from New Britain Superior Court. And Courtney, any idea what was really behind this whole thing here?
Well, Mark, 2 friends tell us they were inside the courtroom today. They say that this woman has been practicing witchcraft and worshiping the devil. We did get our hands on the arrest warrant. In those documents, police say they saw her on surveillance video in that area where those churches are. When they picked her up, her clothes smelled like smoke. She had 2 lighters on her. They also say she had religious documents on her as well that they believe she would only have obtained if she was inside that building. 30-year-old Kimora Parker appears virtually inside a New Britain Superior courtroom.
Right. Okay, Ms. Parker. Ms. Parker.
A brief outburst by Parker as she was trying to tell a judge what happened Friday night. 2 of her friends were inside the courtroom. This man tells us he's known Parker for 15 years. He says she has been worshiping the devil.
She started worshiping Santeria and witchcraft, Wicca, all that stuff. That's what she's practicing, and that's what she's putting in her home. She's taking elements from our streets, breaking them and using them part of her rituals, and she put it in her home, and she said that it's time for the world to change.
I think she's having a mental breakdown. I think that's what it is. I think she's just psychologically just not there. She's losing her grip on reality.
Police say the fires were set 45 minutes apart. One at this vacant church, St. Matthew's Lutheran Church on Franklin Square, and another at this synagogue on Winter Street. The fire started in the basement and extended up into the walls. Parker will remain under suicide watch. Her friends tell us they hope she gets the help she needs.
I just want you to do right. And burning churches is not righteous. You already burned a Bible. I just hope that God can touch you anointedly while you're in there and make a change for you.
Colorado Springs man accused of stabbing his mother before lighting her house on fire was back in court today.
Court documents say Urashka Graham confessed to killing his mother, telling police he was possessed by a demon before committing the crime.
Edward Heady, Urashka Graham claims he was possessed by a demon after having a conversation about religion with a friend of his. Today I spoke to that friend who didn't want to be on camera and told me Urashka killing his mother makes no sense to her.
Colorado Springs police respond to Cheyenne Road on reports of a house fire and find a dead body.
I called 911. I was the first one here.
Zechariah Andrews recalls the day Teresa Graham, the 74-year-old homeowner, was found under a tarp, grill, and other items. Monday, her son Urashka Graham was arrested for her murder. Graham was already in jail for attempted first-degree murder for crimes allegedly committed that same day. In the 12-page affidavit, investigators detail a jail phone call where Urashka says a friend named Marion Fagan allegedly put a demon inside him. When officers interviewed Fagan, she said she gave Urashka a crystal ball to, quote, help clear himself because things were weighing on him. I went directly to Fagan to ask her about his comments.
He was possessed by a demon after interaction here at your house.
Court documents also reveal a confession to a jail guard. Urashka allegedly said, quote, I want to confess to a crime. I know that I killed my mother. When investigators interviewed Urashka, he told them, quote, I was possessed by a demon. Drugs made me do it.
It's an update now to yesterday's bizarre attack that left a man dead at a River Oaks area high-rise apartment.
Now the family of the man accused of going on that deadly rampage is speaking out.
Yeah, before the 25-year-old allegedly stabbed one man and carjacked and killed another here at this luxury high-rise yesterday, family members say he called 911 several times trying to get mental health help that never came.
25-year-old Ronnie Caesar Jr. allegedly went on an unusual deadly crime spree at a Houston luxury high-rise. But before doing that, she says he was telling his mom he saw ghosts and the ghosts were attacking his son.
He was like, yes it is, Mom, yes it is. He said, y'all can't see him?
Caesar allegedly carjacked construction foreman.
Y'all got to understand, the last days, these demons got to come back. That's why the mental health awareness has been so mentioned in the media and on commercials and everywhere you go, is because they trying to, that's the cover up. They gonna act like you schizophrenic and all these things here.
A third man was then stabbed,
just so
supposedly by
they can
Caesar, and the 25-year-old was ultimately shot and
kill the
killed
symptoms
on
with
Houston
medication,
police.
but them demons still gonna mess with you, y'all. The mental health industry is a made-up industry. Satan invented it in my eyes. Well, it's in his stomach, on his logo, or on his statue that they worship anyway. It's the medical logo sign. The staff with the snakes going up it or whatever, but
she says Friday,
Satan invented it, the mental health, because these demons, when they messing with people,
the family says Caesar was doing well until something
they don't want the demon. They're not trying to figure out how to get the demon off of you or get them out of you. They just wanted you to have. They just want you to live with the demon, so they kills the symptoms and want you to sleep all day while the demon is possessing you.
Another neighbour and off-duty police officer tries to stop him as he breaks into his next victim's home. Arslan then stabs another man 8 times who survived, managing to push him away. He murdered 43-year-old father of 3 Matthew Borman. It's something Arslan warned police he'd do the night before the attack.
Multiple agencies and authorities were warned of the threat that this man posed. Although Matthew's murder has shocked us all to the core, the incident was not remotely out of the blue. The response was toothless and ineffective.
The 52-year-old was diagnosed with an antisocial personality disorder, something the court heard made him hear voices telling him to kill people.
We've obviously learned a lot about his mental health through reports that we've had done leading up to the trial.
It's kind of like being blind
and violent individual.
And everybody
a woman behind
see
bars for killing her son in McHenry
that
County
you live
says she suffered from postpartum psychosis and saw demons in her
under a bridge.
Shaw, local news
But everybody around you is talking and trying to make you believe as if you really living in a mansion. It's the same thing. The demons out there, so they want us to think it's something else than what it really is. We blind. They know we blind and can't tell. So guess what? They gonna tell us anytime.
In closing, we must pray that we be granted the spiritual discernment and Holy Spirit inspired vigilance, so we will be able to see things as they truly are and not just as they appear to be.
Envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways. For the froward is abomination to the Lord, but his secret is with the righteous. The curse of the Lord is in the house of the wicked, but he blesseth the habitation of the just. Surely he scorneth the scorners, but he giveth grace unto the lowly. The wise shall inherit glory, but shame shall be the promotion of fools.
In Haiti, a divine spirit is called a Loa.
The Red Sox are mourning the loss of former shortstop Julio Lugo, who died Monday morning. ESPN's Enrique Rojas first reported his passing after being told by the family that he died at age 45 with belief that he suffered a heart attack.
I'm 45, y'all.
Just a report from Major League Baseball this morning, as the Detroit Tigers first base coach, Camaro Bartine, has died. Bartine passed away suddenly on Monday.
A lot of people
NFL
dying.
great Demaryius Thomas.
A lot of famous
today
people,
inside his
Hollywood
home.
people, you
Incredibly
dig?
heartbreaking. Demaryius was so young. He was just 33 years old. Here at Roswell Police, they tell us that his death stemmed from some type of medical issue. That's really all they would say. Now, the Broncos are also, of course, reacting to this news. They say they are heartbroken by the sudden and tragic passing of such an incredible player.
In the Gregorian year of 2018, there was a spiritually significant changing of the guard, which took place at a New Orleans music festival.
One of this year's Voodoo Fest headliners is canceling his performance. Look at this. Today, organizers announcing that Childish Gambino was forced to cancel so he can continue to recover from a recent tour injury. Travis Scott reportedly will perform in his place on Saturday.
Travis Scott kicked off his Astro World Tour at the 2018 Voodoo Fest.
Again, the devil taketh him up into an exceeding high mountain, and showeth him all the kingdoms of the world, and the glory of them, and saith unto him, All these things I will give thee, if thou wilt fall down and worship me.
I can anything. I'll give you anything. Anything. I ain't you anything. I'll give it to you now. Right now.
The Deceiver.
Right now.
I will dream by the end of the
Man of the world.
I will see the heavens catching fire. I feel the
The end is near. But who's who? Who's who?
You're throwing me right in the deep end. You're throwing me right in the deep end.
Don't sleep. Wake up. It's time. He who has ears, let him hear.
Cry aloud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and show my people their transgression and the house of Jacob their sin.
Have nothing to do with the fruitless deeds of darkness, but rather expose them.
Though this has been one of our most challenging videos to create, we have received some of the most positive reviews and feedback to date, and we appreciate all the encouragement from our supporters. And if you would like to support this ministry by viewing our latest presentation, you can join our Patreon by visiting patreon.com/shatterparadise or